All right. This is a gift from Joe and Kate Van Name.
Joe and Kate Van Name, both patron saints of whiskey.
I feel really let down on that one.
Yeah.
Okay. So, this is actually also, I'm going to treat this as also a Rhett donated whiskey.
Well, then why do we do a ceremony?
Because it's both, and I'll explain why in a second. So, first I'm going to pour you, and we'll have a little awkward silence.
Now I'm just sitting here. There's cricket chirping. You're making it weird. Why would you make it weird? You haven't explained to me if this awkward silence is justified.
That makes it even more awkward. So here's what happens is Joe and Kate were traveling Ireland and they visited the distillery.
Right.
Because, or visited with the people because she's an Egan.
Yeah, you mentioned this.
Yeah.
We've talked about this.
And so she wanted to get involved because that's technically her family name. And the Egan Distillery is a revival of an old brand from the family of Egans.
46%.
Yeah. So she was telling me this whole story in class.
Right.
Now this is their grain, vintage grain, which means this is a single grain Irish whiskey.
What makes it vintage?
Just probably the style of how they're making it. Now, right now they're not making anything. They're sourcing, right? So they sourced a single grain Irish spirit.
Right.
Now, this is in Tullamore, County Offaly.
Ooh. Now hold on. We did an Egan's before.
We did the 10-year-old single malt.
This is a much more prominent butter note.
And in theory, it's somewhere around 8 years old.
This is a more prominent butter note for me. Are you getting more prominent butter note?
I am. And also apple. Like sour, like green apple.
Right.
Yeah. Instead of the traditional honeyed biscuit note, I'm getting the... Really?
It's a pairing.
It's not a pairing. You're ruining everything. Put it down. Nah.
It would have paired gloriously.
So we, Kate and I were having this whole discussion at the last class that she wanted to get involved in the Egan Distillery as a somm and as one of our tribe, and also because it's her family history.
Right.
Now, last 2 months ago or so, dude, seriously, quit bringing up the here. This is bullshit.
I'm not interrupting you. You're interrupting yourself.
You're just holding bouquets of candy.
Chad knows he can cut away from me and hold it on you.
That's ridiculous.
You are just so ADD. You can't even focus on what you're trying to say.
I'm so ADD.
You can't focus on what you're trying to say.
Whatever, I'm focused on video production right now.
I'm cleaning up my side of the room. It's a mess. Keep saying your thing. Just let me clean up.
Okay, I'm explaining to you why we did the awkward silence, and you're not listening.
My ears.
You never listen.
Here's the great thing about ears.
No.
They work no matter where they are positioned in this room.
That's true of most people, but it's not true of Rex Williams.
Have they really worked so well right here? Maybe over here, that's the sweet spot.
If you're off doing something else,
this could be
you may have to say the word Rex 4 times in a row before he realizes that you're talking to him. So Amber, who is a representing, I can't focus. Candy. I can't focus with it.
Just here, I'll put it down here.
That's gross.
I'll put it down here.
Amber, who is a representative of the Egan's brand, said, "We love your show and we want to send you some whiskey." Well, she's gonna send it, but it hasn't arrived yet. In the meantime, I already have both the ones she wanted to send because Kate brought them.
Right.
Oh my god. I can't do it. And so technically we're going to receive some bottles of this Egan's from the brand reps.
Right.
But we already have it from our somms who gifted it to us.
Let me tell you this right now. This is the most complicated, off the rails.
It was not off. This was a 25-second explanation.
We're well over 5 minutes into this.
Rex keeps introducing
well over 5 minutes into this
shady candy into this video.
And you're trying you're trying to explain something that's convoluted, that's irrelevant.
It's not irrelevant because I wanted to say thank you to Amber for reaching out and offering to send us some whiskey.
Just say thank you. Thank you, Amber. Amber, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
This is the travesty of my involvement in this episode. The worst thing that's happening is this.
Oh, it is the worst. It is the worst. It's just the sound of the... I can't focus. It totally derails me when someone's crumpling up shit in the background when I'm trying to talk.
All right. I won't do the crinkly thing anymore.
I'm worried about what your plan B is.
You noticed that I qualified it there.
Yeah, I totally did. Yeah.
All right.
So what tasting notes are you getting here?
So again, I'm getting more of a prominent buttered note.
Yeah.
See, I can shift gears. It's not a problem for me. I'm an adult man.
I'm just getting honey and green apple and...
Honey, green apple, the butter note, and there's a little bit of a creaminess with that.
Yep, and it feels a little shiny. A slight citrus note in there somewhere that's not the green apple.
Yeah, is there almost like there's a little grain alcohol in here?
No, it is. It's a grain.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little shiny and brittle compared to the single malt, which to me had rounder, warmer tones. Mm-hmm. This is more sparkly, more pretty.
Now, clarify that for me, because barley is a grain.
Yeah. Right. But, okay, so because the tradition in Ireland and Scotland was barley whiskey, when they started making things without barley, they classified it as a grain spirit.
Okay.
Right, grain whiskey.
Yeah.
And so in Ireland and Scotland, when you say single malt, you're talking about barley. When you say single grain, and single just means one distillery, grain is always referring to any mix of grains. It's actually closer to American style production, where you mix the grains before you distill.
You know what this reminds me of? A little bit more character, a little bit more vibrance to the notes, but it's very similar to Sexton Irish whiskey.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
To me, it's a little more complex than Sexton.
Hence me saying a little bit more character, a little bit more vibrance.
But it is headed that direction.
Yep.
And I dig Sexton as just a good drinkable Irish whiskey. I think we're done with this video. We're still gonna add comments.
10 minutes. It just feels like a long time.
It really felt like forever.
Because you can't handle.
No, please don't. It's like used lemons.
Brian Glass, actually, it's 10 minutes, 30 seconds for us. By the time Chad's cut this, maybe like damn near 5 minutes. Yeah, he probably just has to cut out a lot. Brian Glass says, so I've been binge watching for about a month now from the start. I have many questions pop up and never commented because I knew they would get answered, and they have. But while making some deer jerky and sipping on Buffalo Trace, my mind went to pairing jerky plus whiskey equals awesome.
I think we have another...
That's actually on the list.
Quarterly challenge review of jerky.
So I don't... The quarterly challenge isn't like right around the corner.
No, it's coming up.
But one of the things... This is not too early to at least give a heads up. One of the things we're going to do in the next quarterly challenge... Because it always, like the reason why we do it is because of this episode up here, and it's just a check-in, a little bit of quality control for your life to make sure that alcohol isn't becoming a problem.
Right.
And we have been reviewing things that aren't whiskey.
Yes.
But that always feels a little off kind of the point of why people are coming here. So... We're not going to review whiskey, but I would like to review things that are at least whiskey adjacent. Like whiskey.
So like you would have with whiskey. Like a pairing.
Well, fine, but I'm thinking more of all of these ridiculous whiskey-infused things.
Right.
Like whiskey shampoo, whiskey jerky.
Yeah, where your alcohol's gone.
Whiskey butter, whiskey chocolate, whiskey,
whiskey candles.
Yes, all of those things. So whiskey, not the actual alcoholic beverage, but... things that are
I'm in on that.
At least whiskey adjacent.
But jerky is a good food pairing, I think.
We could do pairing.
I really love jerky. And there's all different kinds. We've got the Whittington jerky in Johnson City that has like 30 different kinds of weird jerky styles.
How much did they care whenever you walked in and told them you're a Whittington too?
They really didn't. I walked in and I was paid and I had my card that said Whittington. I was like, hey, I'm also Whittington. And the girl at the counter who's like 17, she was like, huh. So do you want a bag with this?
He's like, yeah, I'm not a Whittington, and I don't care. All right, we're at the Nick Dundarian.
Nick Dundarian.
Wasn't Rex supposed to shave his head bald? Brad?
What?
I feel like you're the authority on this. Here's what we're doing. And I don't think we've actually announced this.
We casually mentioned it once, but we haven't clarified.
So, the shaving. Mm-hmm. When's that happening, Dad?
That's happening at the grand opening, at the closing of the day.
It is the closing ceremonies.
The closing ceremony
or it's either before the I don't know, it's at the launch party.
Yeah.
And all of the magnificent bastards who stepped up to even make that
trip
a thing. And they're coming down to Austin. You guys are gonna be a little bit short.
We're gonna have to find a way to live stream that.
Yeah.
Sure.
So yeah, I'm probably gonna have to password protect all the Wi-Fi because we're gonna have like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people here.
Yeah.
To make sure the stream works well.
Yes.
We'll have like a couple of cameras set up, and you guys will be able to like check in and see what's going on.
Cool.
So live stream.
Live stream.
Live stream on the 25th.
On the 25th.
On the Whiskey Tribe channel, not
yes.
not this channel, by the way. It's our other channel there. This is the Corey M328i. Did you get that?
Yeah, sure.
Corey M328i.
That seems fair. I don't know why we're still discussing this. I don't really know where to go with that.
328.
Yeah, got it. Yeah.
I.
Yeah, got it.
This one is for that sexy beast named Rex. So my question to you is, when exactly does a joke become a dad joke? You mother.
What's the answer, Rex?
You son of a bitch. The answer is when it becomes apparent.
Ah, there it is. You know what's gonna make that joke better? You know what 328i is? It's a model of BMW.
I know.
So, who drives BMWs? As like me.
You gotta aim the camera.
Yeah.
Show Daniel's BMW right down there.
I actually have a 328i.
You know what? I'm keeping it real with the people.
Yeah.
Ford Focus.
Ford Focus. That's right.
Yeah.
Here's to fighting, stealing, and drinking.
You fight, may you fight for a friend.
If you steal, may you steal a lover's heart.
If you drink,
may you drink with us.
Hey, thanks for hanging out with us in the Whiskey Vault. Don't forget to throw in a like, hit that subscribe button on the bottom right, and drop a question or comment down below.